Hi, my name is Kohei. I'm from Tokyo. You're watching EOtv.
Welcome to EOtv. I'm Andrea Collins.
I'm Randall Mauricio. This is your weekly Entrepreneurs Organization webcast.
That's right, and this week we're going eco-friendly. We've got lots of tips and lots of clips from EO members in Los Angeles and Canada on how to build an eco-friendly model into your business.
That word, eco. We'll also hear from a member who shares a powerful story on how EO members helped his son when he was in great need.
Yeah, an amazing story, and we've got a great tip of the week from Warren Rustend. Well, we've got a lot to do, as you can see, so let's get it going.
Eco.
EO Los Angeles member Gerald Olesker is the creative and strategic force behind Architectural Detail Group, or ADG, and their eco lighting products. Today, he explains how to build a successful business with, you guessed it, an eco-friendly model.
You know, I've been manufacturing decorative lighting for 17 years, dealing with upper-end residential, hotel, and resort, creating some of the world's finest products for the finest projects. And I recognize that with some of the new legislation coming through our government, we needed to change the way we approached lighting, not just from a product standpoint, but from a complete holistic standpoint and the aesthetic. So what we did is we looked for the best product we could find to integrate into our decorative and dumb lighting. Take test studies and case studies, look at those, implement them, and then get the customer feedback. Once we have that, there are matching grants from the government and from private entity to begin to build this as a resource. One of the key things is understanding how these work and where to find them, and that's part of having a good advisory board, a good team of people to refer to. But recognizing now that the green industry is less than 2% of the majority of most industries, our breakthroughs are trying to get people to understand, why should we go green and why hasn't anyone else done this before us? And they always want many more people to have done it. Again, is taking people, educating them in the process so that we can get them to the next step. Our best way of getting them to understand this is it translates to dollars.
EO Orange County member Mark Moses is an entrepreneur, coach, and professional speaker. This week, he shares with us how member-to-member exchange became a critical resource when his son was in great need. Let's take a look.
Member-to-members made an unbelievable difference in our lives when our son was diagnosed at 3 years old with a brain tumor, and we had 24 hours to make some very significant decisions for emergency brain surgery. Member-to-member exchange was there for us, and within 24 hours we got amazing results, referrals to the right people, the right doctors, ensured we were in the right hospital, and I got to speak to other members that had kids that went through a similar experience. Really glad member-to-member exchange is there for us here at EO.
Much like Gerald from our first story, EO Winnipeg member Heidi Reimer-Epp also uses an eco-friendly strategy within her company, Botanical Paperworks. Heidi joins us today to discuss how she developed her eco-friendly products and shares a few green business tips with EOtv.
In 1997, my mom, Mary Reimer, and I started Botanical Paperworks with the idea of making handmade papers using locally sourced materials. So we would gather flowers and leaves from our gardens and from our cottage and the beach, and then turn that into unique and creative papers. So in doing that, we were looking here and there for any kind of product or material or additive that we could put in to make a unique paper. And so that's when, in working with the flowers, the petals themselves, we thought, well, if we can do that, why don't we try the seeds? We were starting with our wedding invitation line and wedding favors, and then as clients started to see these products online, they came to us asking, well, if you can do that, could you do a bookmark? Because we're going to a trade show and we want to have something to hand out. And as we see potential products that we could develop in the marketplace, we bring those and really we're very much in touch with our clients and finding out what they want to do. The first 5 years of our company, we spent a lot of time and energy in research and development. When interest in the green, making green choices from the consumers started several years back, we were ideally positioned with our plantable paper product to be able to offer this eco-friendly paper to clients who now were very interested in it. So an example of that is now we do a lot of work with vegetable seeds and herb seeds because our clients have asked us for blends beyond just wildflowers. When we first started the company, we received a matching contribution grant of about $2,000 from the provincial government, and that just helped us get going and buy some of the equipment that we needed. And then we received some ongoing help from the Women's Enterprise Center locally in the form of research and business consultation. Another challenge that we had early on was educating the customer on what plantable paper means, because people didn't know about it. They hadn't heard of seed paper and they didn't understand the concept. So we used public relations campaigns and contribute articles to websites so that people, when they were making a choice for paper, and especially when they were wanting something to communicate their environmental consciousness, that they would make plantable paper their choice. Customers are choosing plantable paper because they want to communicate their environmental consciousness to their clients. So in the case of a business that's doing a promotional product, they want to communicate the fact that they are making eco-friendly choices within their business. Also, our other clients like me really value a handwritten note and understand that there is something special about taking the time to handwrite a card and send it to a client or send it to a friend or a family member, and then that gift of flowers at the end when they plant it, it's this blooming reminder of the person who sent the card or the event that where they received the piece.
In our tip of the week, we have a clip from Warren Rustand, Managing Director of SC Capital. Warren shares his expertise with EOtv about accounting capital for your business in today's economy.
My name is Warren Rustand, and I'm the Managing Director of SC Capital Partners, a venture capital firm. And perhaps today we might talk a little bit about the acquisition of capital for your business. Starting in August of 2007, we began to see a precipitous decline in the capital markets. At first, it was just the housing crisis, and as a result of that, mortgage money effectively dried up. That soon spread to our core banks, and the main banks that we now read about every day, B of A, Wells Fargo, Wachovia, and others, soon began to stop lending entirely. In fact, they faced a liquidity crisis and short and long-term lending issues and constraints. And so as a result of that, way back in the fall of 2007, we began to see a drying up, if you will, of the credit in this country. Well, what's that have to do with perhaps the liquidity crisis as we see it in our own business? If you're thinking about growing your business and expanding your business today, one of the most common forms to do that is with debt. And I would suggest to you through the balance of 2009, there won't be much credit available, not much debt for you to get. However, there's still a lot of equity out there. The hedge funds, the private equity funds have been pausing while the debt markets sort themselves out. But for good transactions, there are still excellent liquidity opportunities and excellent opportunity to attract cash. They may become your partner in ways in which you find very attractive. They bring expertise and talent, and they bring a lot of money. So there's pent-up demand. They're looking for good transactions. The key is that those sources of capital want to de-risk the investment. As a result of that, they have become more risk averse. And so they are looking for companies to invest in that have less risk, and they're willing to pay more in terms of valuations to get it. So I hope that if you're thinking about financing your company, want to continue to grow your company, the sources of capital still exist. And while the debt markets will be tough to come by for the next 7 or 8, 9 months, perhaps even a year, there is a substantial amount of capital out there for investment in quality businesses. I hope you'll find the source of capital that you need. It's important that EO leaders continue to grow the businesses they own and operate every day.
That's a wrap for this week. Thank you so much to both Gerald and Heidi for sharing with us their eco-friendly business models. Hopefully, we can all learn from that and apply it to our businesses in any way we can.
Right. And thank you again to Warren Rustand for sharing the tip of the week. And a big thank you to Mark Moses for sharing his incredible story about his son.
Very inspiring.
Yep.
You never know when resources at EO will come in handy for other areas or other people in your life, not just for your own business.
So please join us again next week. Here's some more tips about delegating and using different forms of media in your business. Until then, though, remember, failure is always something you pass on your way to success.
Very nice.
I know.
Is that a biodegradable t-shirt you're wearing?
Bio what?
We'll see you next week.
Eco.